Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be on a Sunday night. Where tonight we're coming to you from it's not from Coda. I'll fix that in a minute. Belle Isle for round four of Sunday Night Lights. Where me, the one who forgot to update the overlay, Alex McKellar, is joined once again by the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. Corey, welcome back to the booth, mate.
Oh, thank you. Glad to be back. Had an excellent night last night, Pinjar Park, watching some outlaw kart racing. Looking forward to seeing a full field of 20 handle this tight and twisty street circuit that we know as the Belle Isle Racetrack, Alex.
Yeah, that's it, mate. We had a massive streak the field, 5,200 or something in the warm up race because there was only 14 drivers. But sometimes you roll the dice here and you come up a little bit short. We've got an amazing array of drivers in here. I think the front half of the field is so heavy. You go down to car number 12 before you break five, like you drop below 5k, and yet we've got the great opportunity for the likes of Nathan Verney, the locked on iRacing driver on your screen at the moment at 2600 and 79. He scraped in his car number 20. I reckon when he saw the names on the list, his eyes would have gone as wide as dinner plates.
I imagine as soon as he seen that he was car 20, his eyes were going pretty wide, Alex, because there's only two splits in this one tonight. So we've got the top split and the bottom split only, and he made it into the top split, which is an incredible effort.
What do you reckon? Do you reckon he wants to be car 20 in the top split and get on this big screen, or prefer to be car 1 in the second split? What do you reckon?
I mean, if he's anything like me, he'd rather be car 20, so that way, if you do good, it shows pretty well. But if you stuff up, well, you're car 20. What does it matter?
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, let's go see who else is out there now. Guy, the Quali King. He is back out there as car number 1, of course. Adam Miles, fresh off a great drive last week. Ended up a little bit unfortunate, but hoping to go a bit better this week. The Cowboy, of course, for Speedy Snails. He is back in action this week. He's done about 1,000 races and he's ready to crack the big one. Nathan Wade from UK&I, he's back again. I can't remember if we've seen Nathan for a while. He joined us last season and I don't think we've seen him here on a Sunday night so far this season. Rasmus Viori, Finnish driver, pretty strong actually. Looked race smart in the warm-up race. Team Torpedoes, Tim Hendrickson is back in action. It's car number 6 here tonight. Watch him to action to follow him tonight. Hikaru Sasaki, the second of 3 Japanese drivers here, is car number 7. He's one to watch in my books. Once he gets his legs underneath him, I think, whether it be starting tonight or later on in the season, I reckon he'll be absolutely one to watch. He's got plenty of pace. Second ANZ driver in the field tonight, Brett McBurney from McFlabby Racing. Raced with Brett during the week. Had some good pace, actually. So expect him to be competitive after finishing second in one of the earlier rounds this season. Fresh off the back of his maiden victory last week, George Maddock joins us once again. He's car number 9. Car number 10 is Xavier Sanchez from Iberia, from Spain. Joining us once again, starting to become somewhat of a regular here on a Sunday night, Corey.
Yeah, that's right. And glad to see Xavier coming out. I know him from Oval Racing, and he's a pretty formidable competitor there. And he's definitely starting to come up through the ranks here in the Skippies as well. But coming up as our 11th place car, Seb Schultz from DEATCH. And glad to see Seb out there having a run. I personally haven't seen him on track in a Skippy in a long time. It's great to see him out there. Vasco Sorosky coming up as our 12th plated car here. And he does indeed have a Shutter of Clowns. 3 of them spotting him tonight for Team Clowns Racing. Dimitri Filipides from the Asia Club is going to be the 13 car here tonight, with Nick Vaughan Roberts from the UK&I as the 14th plated car. Russell Clark from Team Milo is going to be car number 15 from the AusNZ Club, with Neil Gardner also representing the AusNZ. 8 representations of AusNZ here tonight, Alex, which is fantastic as the 16th plated car. Akira Nakajima from Japan is going to be car number 17, with Mitchell Nichols from AusNZ as the 18th plated car. Paul Wilson who scraped in with a 26.7. Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong number there. A 27.20 I rating is going to be the 19th plate of the car. And as you said, Nathan Verney coming in for AusNZ with his 26.79 I rating. And, I reckon he's just looking forward to the opportunity, honestly, Alex.
Oh, well, maybe. He's doing all right. He's in 13th. Second last of the qualifying time set so far. McBurney, the only one behind him, who's out on his second lap, looking to set a decent time. You know, we may sort of boo-hoo the fact that we got less than 5K here tonight with so many of the field so strong. But what it does is, week after week on the Locked On iRacing podcast, I do the SNL wrap and I talk about all the ANZ representation in the second split. Well, most of the second split ANZ drivers have now fought their way tonight into the top split. So really looking forward to seeing how some of the ANZ drivers go out there tonight. Speaking of which, Sam Devantier has done his 2 laps. Good enough only for 5th at this stage. Adam Miles, Naoya Nagai's done his 2, and he's only plonked it on the second row with Miles still to go. That's unheard of. Vaughan Roberts currently sitting on provisional pole. Seb Schultz, who, as you say, we haven't seen in a long time, is lightning fast in the skips, but he's only managed 6th. The top end of town in this race as Miles comes to cross the line for his second lap. What's he done? 5th only. Yeah, he's done his 2 laps, 5th only. Anyone still out there? George Maddock. He's the last one out there, Corey, who can dethrone anyone up the top. The top end of town in here is pretty damn fast. 43.2 on pole is outstanding.
Well, that is incredible, Alex. Again, these are times that I wouldn't be able to reach in my wildest dreams. As George Maddock, I think he must be on his first lap or he's on an out lap because he hasn't registered a time yet. But he's not exactly leaving himself very much time here to get a fast lap in. I think he's just trying to get a banker in and hope that it sticks, Alex.
Yeah, no, this is his second lap. I think he must have bodged the first one, mate. But let's see what he does. We've gone on board with him as he crosses the line. He won last week. Oh, he just snuck it in. 43.6, and he is only good enough for 6 at this point. So let's grab our grid and see where we get to. Nick Vaughan Roberts leads them out today for 2 Fools Racing, just ahead of, can you believe it, Vasco Sorowski. He's been complaining to me all week. He's got no pace here. Team Clowns sits on the front row right next to Vaughan Roberts. 2 names I would not have expected to see on the front row, but gee, I'm glad they're up there. Third off the grid tonight will be Nathan Wade, just ahead of Naoya Nagai, the somewhat dethroned Quali King here tonight. Adam Miles from Miles Ahead Racing, and the Skippy Community Rep. He starts out at 5th, ahead of George Maddock from UK9 6th. Starting 7th will be the great Seb Schultz. Just ahead of the Cowboy for Speedy Snails, Sam Devantier starting in 8th. Team Torpedo, Tim Hendrickson joins us again. He starts out at 9th, just ahead of Rasmus Fiori from Finland out of 10th. Brett McBurney for McFlabby Racing, the 3rd ANZ driver, starting from 11th tonight, just ahead of Dimitri Philippides, who starts out of 12th. Going over the page, full grid here tonight. 13th tonight, Team Bolo, Bossman, Russell Clark the 3rd. 14th off the grid tonight, Neil Gardner. Great to see him back in the top split. Akira Nakajima from Nagai Racing School out of 15th. Paul Wilson from ANZ out of 16th. Nathan Verney for Locked On iRacing. He starts out of 17th. Hikaru Sasaki with no time there starts out of 18th. Similarly for Sanchez out of 19th, and Mitchell Nichols, the other driver not to set a time, starts from 20th. Corey, interesting to see how the boys go out there tonight, as I might grab a camera angle. No, this one's usually the way to go. As the clock winds down, 5 seconds to go, they're all getting ready. As the Fred the Flag Marshal gets ready, the red lights have come on. And as they go out, we are underway for the first of 15 laps here tonight. Drivers get underway and they're led away by Vaughan Roberts through the Albany chicane for the first time.
And they're going to watch themselves on the exit of this second corner. It's very easy to drift out into the wall. There's a little hump just on the exit there, and it can definitely unsettle the car, especially on cold tires or on the start of lap 2, as they come streaming down to the first big braking opportunity at turn 3. We've already got a battle on for second as Nathan Wade trying to get the move made on Vasco Swarovski, and it looks like he's going to do it coming into turn 4, Alex.
Yeah, Swarovski coming off second best. Wade made the move stick. It does leave a 0.7 of a second gap to Vaughan Roberts, though, interestingly. These two want to get a wriggle on. Oh, the net code here is real, folks. Although, I'm wondering if that was real contact or what's going on with Wade there. Perhaps he picked up a slowdown somewhere, Corey, because he has dropped right back, and that has... And Swarovski similarly is dropping back, perhaps to redress. Well, they had legit I think they had legit contact there, Corey. Look at that.
I believe they have had legit contact, Alex, because that's the only reason why both of them would be going that slowly. Although Nathan Wade slowed himself back into 9th and is continuing on at race pace. So I'm not entirely sure what could be going on there.
Well, I've said the net code is real here this week, and I'm just going to try and see. Yeah, let's have a look. I'm wondering if this is it. No, that's not it. Sorry again for the overlays, folks. I've had trouble with resolutions and stuff, but it's just the replay this week. Let's leave it at that. But the problem for everyone in the field now is Vaughan Roberts, on the back of that, has got a 1.1 second, no, just a 1 second gap. But if there's anyone you want on the front with 1 lap pace, chasing him down, it's Naoya Nagai.
Absolutely, Alex. And I was just watching Swarovski, and he's definitely got some broken suspension components on that skip. He took it straight into the pit lane. He's either had contact there with Nathan Wade, or he's had contact with the wall somewhere and just broken his suspension a little bit. Vaughan Roberts definitely trying to hold off the charge from the guy. Now the gap is fluctuating between 0.8 of a second and a full second at the minute. They make it onto the big, long back straight. Everyone using all the track they can while also trying to avoid these walls. And Adam Miles being right in behind Nagai-san. This will definitely help out Nagai with straight line speed, trying to catch up to Vaughan Roberts here a little bit. As the air comes off the spoiler, the drag gets extended over 2 cars rather than 1. And I
some in the back. I think
chance.
Wade's gone. Oh, twice in. Sorry, mate. And Vernie's gone with him. Hang on. Let's go take a look. Sorry to cut you off, mate.
That's all right.
I got Vernie coming in at the back. Oh, and I think he's just been collected in the incident that was already... Oh, no, he's just spun. Look, it's already happened in front. I'm going to find... it's Nathan Wade. Here you go. Is it Rasmus Fiore? This will be it here. They've come down on what looks to be side by side. And what's happened here? Fiore's just got a bit loose in the braking zone with the nose shown up inside. Has he just gone off into the wall, clipped the wall, and Wade's just followed him? Oh, and they've both just... Yeah, I think they've just both overcooked it into turn 7 there, and that'll leave a mark, that's for sure. But meanwhile, back at live pictures, Vaughan Roberts is up front ahead of Nagai and Miles, and then out into 3/10. So that gap's been bridged, mate. It's all over.
Yeah, that's right. And they'll start using these long straightaways and even some of these little wavy straightaways to catch up using the draft. One of the advantages of these tracks, it has a lot of really long straightaways where you can really get up and get going and catch that draft. But it also has quite a few little technical sections that you got to be wary of if you might be a little bit inexperienced. Nagai-san trying to cut down the track as straight as he can down the back straight there, which isn't really all that straight. It's got a couple of curves in it, and he's just trying everything he can to bring that gap down even more, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely he is. Now, word from the peanut gallery is that I think it's Mr. Wade had a penalty. That's why he slowed. Swarovski definitely had damage because he went through the pits. I'm wondering if Wade didn't get the exit or something, and Vasco's just hit him in the rear. So either way, it's unfortunate. Swarovski well and truly out of this one. Wade's gone as well because we saw the subsequent incident between him and Viore. What that does do, though, is it opens up opportunity for some of the other folks in this race, because we've got now a battle pack of, wow, it's almost 3 there, between Roberts, Nagai and Miles. I reckon Nagai, Roberts and Miles will be battling this one out. Last week's winner, Maddock, now is in a battle with the Cowboy for P4 and 5 respectively. Hendrickson's off the back a little bit, but in a battle with what I'd suggest is an old sparring partner in Seb Schultz. McBurney and Clark side by side into the braking zone at 3. Clark gets the move done, and he's, I tell you what, Clark's put in some laps here this week, and looking to make the most of the opportunity here, up 5 positions to P8. Not a bad start for the Team Milo boss man.
Absolutely not, Alex. I'm just having a little look through my list here, and Sasaki is actually up 7 positions from where he started in P11. So moves have definitely been made throughout this field, just like Sam Devantia getting around George Maddock going into turn 3. So it's Sam up to P4, George down to P5 as McBurney and Clark continuing to battle on. And the battle at the front has gotten a lot tighter now, Alex, as they're pretty much on each other's gearboxes now.
Yeah, that's it. McBurney making the move stick at turn 7. Of course, the second passing opportunity. Less favoured than turn 3 here, but we expect to see all the action take place primarily at turn 3 and turn 7. If you're brave and or desperate, there are a couple other spots that you can try. You can be 2x2 on the exit of 3 and get it done at 4, for example, but that's certainly not the fastest way around, and probably something you're looking more to do at the end of a race rather than the start. Meanwhile, Nagai now chasing down Vaughan Roberts. It seems to fluctuate a little bit. Vaughan Roberts must be strong in certain parts of the circuit. Nagai and Miles desperately looking to chase him down and really make a battle of it. As in behind, we saw Maddock clip the wall on exit at turn 2, compromising his run down into turn 3. He won't be looking to pass Devantia this time round. You can, of course, tap the walls here and get away with it typically for the most part. However, every now and then one of them will jump out and rip off a wheel, that's for sure. McBurney leading that battle with Clark at the moment is behind. They're still getting busy, but up front, yeah, I think we've closed right up now. There is a dead set battle for the win there between the front 3. I am going to suggest that if Devantia puts his head down, though, he might be able to make this a battle in 4, and if he brings Maddock with him, we'll have 5 at the front, Corey.
I believe so, Alex, and especially if these guys at the front, like Vaughan Roberts, Nagai and Miles, start battling a little bit. It was Vaughan Roberts looked like he took the exit a little bit wide there coming through turn 7, and the way I see it right now is Guy actually has a broken left rear suspension, but I'm pretty sure that's just a little bit of netcode playing tricks on me, as everyone's getting so close to these walls. It's amazing that we don't see more people bidding it around this track, Alex.
Yeah, mate, the netcode here, though, I mean, iRacing talked about updating the netcode recently. I don't know if it's just this circuit where it has historically always been bad, as it sometimes is at street circuits where the walls and everything, I mean, Bathurst the same, but this season, I should say, it's been incredible, the netcode we've seen, cars exploding left, right and centre. Now, Adam Miles has just set the fastest lap with a 42.8. Prior to that, and that's in full draft, prior to that, it was the aforementioned Hikaru Sasaki who was up 7 positions, same as Sanchez behind him, but Sasaki set the fastest lap the previous time round with a 43.1. He was about, I think it was about half a second faster than anyone else on the track last time round, until now that Miles, in full draft of the leaders, has set a 42.8. So we're into the 42s. I doubt we'll see any of the mythical 41s tonight, but the boys are certainly going at it.
They're definitely trying as hard as they can right now, Alex. I don't think that the track temp's really lending itself to these guys producing too much really quick times, as Miles looked like he was trying to look for a move on the left of Nagai's son that time, coming along the back straight. He was trying to force Nagai into taking the inside line for 7, which means that he'd have to compromise his entry and exit and slow up a little bit more, try and maybe get that outside move going. So a little bit of chess already been starting to play it out here, Alex, and we're only 3/4 of the way through lap 6.
Yeah, that's it. Long way to go. Lots happened already. We're in that sort of quiet middle stage of the race. And Vaughan Roberts doing an excellent job. Like I said, there's a few sections. I'm going to suggest it's around the fountain there at 7 through 11, that tricky series of corners. But he's out to half a second. And that is the zone where you know that you've got substantial pace and potentially got the number of the guys behind you, which is saying something given the guys behind him and the guy at Miles, really. Now, Devantia is about 1.8, just about 2 seconds behind that trailing or that leading pack on the back of Miles. And just in behind him is Maddock, of course, last week's winner, as we said, who was satisfied to sit behind that time round. Now, Vaughan Roberts, so it's back to just under half a second as they go through the twisty sections of Sector 2 and 3 as they enter through the important turn 6 to the big back straight. Let's have a look. It's about 6/10. He got a big jump through turn 6 and even with draft. So we'll take a note of this, see if this is where the strength is. Half a second into the braking zone at turn 7. He goes into the fountain section. Let's see what he comes out at and see if that's where he's making the time. But boys taking very tight lines. Of course, you've got to be so committed here. So committed through this street circuit. Certainly one of the more popular street circuits, if not the best in the skips. Although participation this week has struggled, possibly because of the Nürburgring 24. And there you go. He's still only the half second, Corey. So I don't know where he's finding the time. It's out of that. Oh, there you go. He found a 10th and a half out of turn 12, which is a crucial corner in the context of being the run into the finishing line, Corey.
That's exactly right, Alex, because after turn 12, turn 13 is flat and turn 14 is just a little bit of a kink. And it's a very good run into turn 1 if you can nail 12 perfectly. And, it just seems that the exit of the crucial corners is where Vaughan Roberts is really gapping the guy here. Guy is great on the corner entries and, the continuous twisty bits. That corner exit on the important corners, turn 12, turn 2, turn 6, that's really where Vaughan Roberts really seems to be extending this gap.
Yeah, and that's a real statement by Vaughan Roberts last time round. He did a 1:42.5, full 10th clear of the drivers behind him and well clear of everyone else on the track, draft or not. In fact, that's a 10th better than the next best and 2 or more than plenty others. So Vaughan Roberts really setting the pace. Having said that, Nagai's now within 3/10, 2.5 tenths as they approach the braking zone, the all-important braking zone into turn 7. And now I think there's going to be a real show. Here we go. They're through the fountain section, very technical, bumpy. Got to take into account not only the technical nature of the corners, but the severe bumps that come through some of them as well. As now the exit of the fountain section through turn 11. He's back out to 4.5 tenths, so he gained a bit through there. And what's he got now? Through turn 12, makes not much that time round, but still about half a second ahead. He's driving really well, is Vaughan Roberts, Corey.
Well, absolutely, Alex. And one thing I noticed through that fountain section, the 9, 10, 11 section in particular, Vaughan Roberts carries a lot more speed going into 11 than what Nagai does. Nagai takes a little bit of a wider line for that right-hander in 11, and Vaughan Roberts, because of the speed that he carries through 9 and 10, makes a much tighter line. And I'm not sure whether that's conducive to him getting a little bit more of a gap there on the run to 12 or not. It's definitely an interesting little thing that I've just started to notice.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we've had a few people take their spots in the top split. Paul Wilson's had a bingle, though. I just want to see what these guys do here, whether the attack starts coming out. Now, the thing I'm thinking is we're just over halfway. We've got about 6 laps to go when they cross the line. Miles has been very, very patient, but they've now caught. Does he look to pass? No, he does not. Anyway, let's go see what happened to Paul Wilson. It's coming into the braking zone. He's got, I think he's got Bury behind him, judging by the livery. Oops, sorry. Oh, I've done that wrong. Sorry, folks. I hit the wrong button. Let's go check it out. I'll leave it on. I was going to slow it down into the braking zone. Sorry. Let's have Paul get his moment in the sun. I think he's got the 5 behind him, and I think he's just outbraked himself into 7. Yeah, we've seen that happen a few times here tonight. He's hung on to it well enough to keep it off the walls and continue to fight another day. Meanwhile, back up front, our leaders cross the line at the end of lap 9. 6 to go this time round. And again, Vaughan Roberts has opened up to half a second, Corey. Massively strong performance from the Welshman.
Absolutely, Alex. It just seems that the second half of the lap really just falls into Vaughan Roberts's wheelhouse there. This is where he extends most of his gap. And, the guy does claw a little bit back here on the first major straightaway as Miles goes for the move now into turn 3, takes over second place. The guy almost ran so wide that he ran into the tyre barrier. But a nice, clean move made there. The guy gave him plenty of space. And looks like they're going to continue the battle on. And Miles, looks like he's got a little bit of pace here now, Alex.
Yeah, mate, he was patient. He didn't want to compromise the speed while they were bridging the gap, but now he figures it's time to go. 5 to go when they cross the line this time round as they head up the back straight. You've got to get that balance right between getting the move done and costing yourself the guy in front and undoing all that good work to get back on. Now, I want to touch base with our battle here. We've got McBurney and Clark for 8th and 9th respectively. And in tow behind them, you've got Philippides, and Sasaki has caught them. Of course, he started pretty much last. No, he started 18th. He was the first of the drivers that hadn't set a time. And, of course, they then grid up based on I rating. But he's moved up 7 spots. He's on the back of this 3-way. Now, he makes it a 4-way battle there. McBurney, Clark, Philippides and Sasaki. And he's, I don't know, I feel like he's probably itching to get by and move forward. He's got to do something because the laps are starting to tick down. If he wants to get on the front of that, there's 3 cars he's got to pass. Meanwhile, back up front, Miles now looking a lot closer. And the guy falling away from this lead pack. Now, I wonder if he's got the reps under the belt, Corey, because I know he's been driving in the Nordschleife 24-hour race this weekend. So maybe he's either a bit fatigued or a bit underdone. Either way, he didn't stick it on pole, and he looks like he's struggling to hang on to the two European drivers at this stage.
And there's a mountain of possibilities as to what could be going wrong here from the guy. It could also just be not his style of track, which is an incredible statement for me to say because every track isn't a guy's style of track. He just seems to be down on pace, and Adam Miles made a little bit of a mistake there from the transition between 5 and 6. Lost a little bit of time to Vaughan Roberts that time. I just want to give a quick little mention to Mitchell Nichols down in 12th place, Alex, up 8 positions from where he started in this race.
Yep, doing a great job taking advantage in the Caterpillar livery from his run in the top split. I remember he burst on the scene in the top split a few seasons ago at Mid-Ohio from memory. He was putting all sorts of moves on and really sort of gave us some highlight moments in his debut. Car number 18 at 38.71 I rating coming into tonight. Up 8 spots into 12th. He'll probably pick up some I rating and some good experience as well as a bit of airtime here tonight. So well done to Mitchell. Meanwhile, back up the front, Miles now all over the back of Vaughan Roberts. 3/10 behind, 3.5 going into the turn 1-2 complex. And the guy, 8/10 behind. He's looking, unless these two get their funk on and start battling, and the guy's really looking like he's out of it at this stage. He'll bank some good points, and in the back, but he doesn't look like he's in it for the win at this stage. Meanwhile, the battle continues behind them. Devantier and Maddock, they're going toe to toe. As behind them, Hendrickson leading from Seb Schultz. We haven't seen Schultz for a long time. Great to see him back out there. But relegated to P7 at this stage. We're used to seeing him right up the front. And there's this battle here between a couple of other ANZ drivers and McBurney and Clark, with Philippides and Sasaki not yet made the move. As we touch back in with our leaders, it's still Vaughan Roberts from Miles and Nagai, Corey.
That's exactly right, Alex. And Miles has really been putting the pressure cooker on Vaughan Roberts here, especially coming into turn 7. Vaughan Roberts, you could tell, just broke that little bit deeper into 7. Just that little bit harder on corner exit. He is pushing the absolute limits of this track without touching the walls. And it's getting really close and personal between these two now, with only about 3 laps to go when we hit the start-finish line. I'm going to ask you, Alex, who do you have your money on this week?
Oh, mate. Hard to go past. I'm going to think Miles. I think he's about due for a win. I think he used up his dash of bad luck, as we see now. See the pressure starting to take a bit on Roberts, who's starting to look a little more on the untidy side of things through there. Now Miles will make the move. Surprisingly, Vaughan Roberts does not defend in the braking zone at turn 3. Gets the move done. Maybe I'm a prophet, maybe not, but side by side they go, and they're going to continue side by side. Vaughan Roberts happy to defend on the outside, and I know from a little bit of phantom contact there, you could see there was space between the wheels, but the car's attitude did not reflect that, and it looked like they made contact even though they did not. I've seen Vaughan Roberts on streams and in races around the place, and he is very aggressive when it comes to racing, fast and likes to race hard. But at this stage, at 8/10 behind with 2.5 laps to go, he's got to get back into it. And now he's got Nagai to worry about as well.
That's exactly right, Alex. And we just got to hope that maybe that phantom contact didn't do any damage to the Vaughan Roberts machine. As we've only got 2.25 laps to go now as we make it through the fountain section once more through turn 11. And you see Vaughan Roberts still pushing the limits of that Skippy, trying to catch back up to Miles now. And I reckon Miles has got his number, honestly, Alex, because Miles closed that gap after he passed Nagai very quickly, and just sat there patiently, just applying the pressure, waiting for his moment to strike. And I reckon Miles is definitely in with the shot for it tonight.
Yeah, it could be. I think he's shown himself to be quite patient here tonight as well. Bided his time with Nagai until the gap was broken. And there's nothing to say, speaking of broken, that phantom contact hasn't put a bit of a kibosh on the steering of Vaughan Roberts. Why don't I hop on board here? No, he looks to be steering straight. The Two Fools racer. Although he missed that apex. Maybe the pressure's getting to him. Don't want to put the mockers on him, but he's still got a lot of work to do. He's 6/10 now behind with a lap and a half to go. Maybe my bold prediction for Miles to take out his maiden victory might come true tonight.
Very well might do, Alex, although he did miss the apex a little bit there in turn 6. Just ran about a foot wider than what you would normally see. And Vaughan Roberts taking advantage of that straight away, straight back onto the gearbox of Adam Miles here, coming through turn 7. And it looks like we've got a battle in 3 once more, as Nagai-san using that draft that he got from Vaughan Roberts to close right in on the leading battle, Alex.
Yeah, they have closed right up there. The pressure really starting to tell on these front pairing. Nagai's still looming large in the background. They are definitely going and playing for sheep stations at this stage, as you would expect. Here's the view from the guy who's really pushing the limits of the track boundaries, or the extent of the track, I should say, and giving it everything. Just in front, we can see the two drivers vying for the race win ahead of him. They are nose to tail. Less than 2/10 is the gap, and what will they do? How will they race this one? I'm going to suggest to you that, yeah, Miles takes the defensive line. Vaughan Roberts is ahead of him now. How do they get it done? How do they get it done? Into the braking zone. Side by side they go again. Miles forces Vaughan Roberts to go the long way round, and the long way round he does. He'll have the inside run into turn 5 and gets the move done. Do you see what I mean about his ability and his aggressiveness when it counts? And he's got him in front. Now he's only got to survive. He's only got to survive the run into turn 7. Moves immediately over to driver's right to take the defensive line into turn 7. Miles, though, has the run, will be forced to go around the outside. It can be done here around the outside. Absolutely it can. And Miles pokes his nose ahead, breaks deeper into turn 7. They get it done side by side. This leads the run into 9. Open to the UKNI driver. Adam Miles desperately chasing his first win. Can Vaughan Roberts continue to go around the outside and get the inside run into 11? Yes, he can. Can they get it done here? That's where it was going to pinch. I was just about to say it. Vaughan Roberts gets ahead, and through comes the Cowboy, hip and shoulders. Miles on the way through. The Cowboy's going to come through and grab second, if you can believe that. Miles goes, and I think he's put it in the wall as well. He's going to lose more positions, but it's Vaughan Roberts. Vaughan Roberts, who's led most of this race, manages to get through and hold on and take out a famous victory just ahead of the Cowboys, Sam Devantia. Now Nagai, after all that, still finishes third. Maddock, Hendrickson, Schultz, and the unluckiest guy out there. Where is he? Is he still falling down the order? He's parked. Look at this. He's parked on the... he's trying to get it back. Oh no, he's trying to get back and not going anywhere. Miles. Oh no, hang on, let me just check out what happened to him in the end. Oh, hang on, where is it? Yeah, let's try again. I think, yeah, on the exit of this corner here at 12, he's just... I think he must have had damage going into it because the thing just wouldn't turn, and he's nailed that corner time after time. So easy to do there, whether he's overcooked it or he was carrying damage to the front left suspension and that stopped him from turning. Either way, that's a tragedy, Corey. My money was on him, as I said, to get his first win, and he falls a penny or $1 short in this case, mate. What a tragedy.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. I had all my money on him as well. I'm losing the house. I'm losing the sheep station. They're all gone now. Oh, that is absolutely gutting. And, he tried his best to get to the line and the car just wouldn't go any longer. How was that move from Sam Devantia taking advantage of the shenanigans going on ahead of him to squeeze past Nagai-san and take home P2? Absolutely incredible effort from the Cowboy.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find that move. I'm going to say it's... Oh no, that's not it. Where is it? Nathan Wade, white flag. It'll be here somewhere. Roberts for P1. Where's the Cowboy passing? Yeah, I'm going to say it's somewhere around here. Let's go and have a look. So they've gone through here. So let's hop on board then with Vaughan Roberts. That's where it's pinched. Right, let's go see that again. And I did think it was going to pinch there. You can just see Nagai goes through there. Devantia comes through and just squeezes through the middle there. We'll go with the cockpit view and we'll see what the Cowboy saw. What sort of reaction time he had to have to get through there. Oh, come on. This is live. Oh, that might have been the damage. Oh, hang on. This is actually on board the Cowboy. That was Nagai. Oh, and then Miles got hit twice. Once by the Cowboy, once by Nagai, and that's how the Cowboy got through and took a famous podium. The Cowboy can do no wrong here tonight by the looks of it, Corey. That's crazy.
Absolutely, Alex, and I would indeed say that is where the left front damage came from. Right rear to left front contact. In the dirt oval sense, we call that feeding him the right rear. And that's exactly what happened there, unfortunately, for Miles. It's absolutely heartbreaking going from, battling for the win to being scored 19th, one lap down. Well, that one's going to hurt for a while.
Oh, mate, I'm gutted for a guy. Such a nice guy, too. Anyway, let's go take a look at our results here tonight. Nick Vaughan Roberts, the main fool himself, Two Fools Racing, takes the win here tonight. He worked hard for it, but he comes out on top for what I think. Oh, I think it might be his main victory, but I couldn't be sure. Sam Devantier for Speedy Snails, though, in the new livery. Well done, Mr. Fiedler, for that. He's finished his second and unlikely podium for the Cowboy. Now you're a guy who, yeah, he was always going to finish third, but we did not expect it to be in that fashion. Anyway, he's finished in third here tonight. George Maddock, after taking out the win last week, did not think he would finish fourth, I wouldn't have thought. But as events turn out, he has done. And Hendrickson for Team Torpedo has returned in style to grab a top five. Seb Schultz, similarly, he's finished in sixth. Brett McBurney won out that battle with Clark, who has finished a bit further behind. Brett's finished in seventh. Hikaru Sasaki moved forward in that group a couple of positions to finish eighth, ahead of Dimitri Filipides in ninth. And the other ANZ driver in that, Team Milo boss man Russell Clark, third, down in 10th, still inside the SNL points. Mitchell Nichols took full advantage of his top split run to finish inside the points in 11th, ahead of Xavier Sanchez from Spain in 12th, rounding out the SNL point scoring positions. Akira Nakajima for Nagai Racing School just outside those points in 13th, as was Neil Gardner in his first SNL run in the top split this season, if I'm not mistaken. He's finished in 14th, although he might have had a run last week. I'd have to check my memory banks. Nathan Verney, certainly his first run in the top split this season for Locked On Railway Racing. He's finished in 15th, just ahead of Team Clowns Vasco Sorowski in 16th. Similarly ahead of Rasmus Viori from Finland in 17th. And Nathan Wade in 18th. I was just about to give up on it, but then I remember there were 20 cars in here. Adam Miles, that's where Miles Ahead Racing, he was miles ahead and then he wasn't. Gutted for the man. He's finished in in 19th, just ahead of the final driver and the final ANZ driver in Paul Wilson down there. The other fella a lap down, Corey. Oh, mate, I don't know where to go. It was sort of line astern for so much, and then it wasn't. And then it all happened.
Well, one thing that we've learnt from our many seasons of doing this broadcast, Alex, is on those last couple of laps, there's no being cordial, there's no friendships anymore. It's all about trying to get that win. And these guys definitely fought it out like they were bitter enemies. I mean, they'll probably shake hands and go their merry way and laugh about it a little bit after the race. But in that moment, they were bitter enemies and they were fighting to the death.
Yeah, that was something, wasn't it? Anyway, let's have a look. We've got a few folk in the green room waiting for a chat. Let's bring up the Cowboy. Sam Devantier. Sorry, I think I dropped you out there, Corey. Anyway, I've got Sam, the Cowboy Devantier. I bet you didn't finish. I bet you didn't expect to finish second in that one, mate. You with us, Sam? Oh, I left.
Wrong.
Sorry, I hit the wrong thing. I was just saying, Sam, I bet you did not expect to finish second in that one, mate.
Let's go in.
Sam, you with us?
Yes. What is going on?
Oh, mate, I'm just doing all sorts of things. I'm just doing all sorts of things, and now I fixed it. And now you tell me the most unlikely of podiums.
I'm speechless, really, because I'm disappointed. Because everyone drove off. I was like, you know what? This is gonna be a boring race. Really gonna be boring. And then I got no words. Disappointed, but happy. Didn't really deserve P2, have to admit. So it's like Monaco, this track. It's and their code. It's been bad here this week. If you have to admit that as well, McKellar, of the race we've been with you this week. It's been
mate.
nasty, really nasty. So
Yeah, I don't know what they've done to the netcode here, mate, but it's
they've
been.
said they've improved it, but
Well, if
Has
by
it?
improvement they mean making a more of a spectacular display, and in the
Wheels
terms
falling
of
off,
cars
cars
exploding and cars having more incidents, then yeah, maybe. But other than that, mate, it's been interesting, shall we say?
it's been interesting. Have to admit, really interesting. So, but P2, I can't complain. But sucks what happened to Adam and Nick and the guy. So really sucks.
Yeah, that's it, mate. It was less than ideal, put it that way. But still, mate, you've come out on top with another podium here tonight, a good haul of points, which is good to see. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
I have to give a shout out to the boss man for the new paint this week. The new paint, the debut tonight. To Dennis Fiedler, if you're watching, thank you for the new paint. It's amazing.
Beautiful.
Bit of good luck, I think. Good
Yeah,
luck, I think.
yeah, that's it. Doesn't look like a Milo car drove over the top and left tread marks at all. Not at all.
No, not at all.
Well, they'd have to get close here tonight, which was not going to happen. But congratulations on the P2 here tonight. Unlikely as it might have been, still a great result to walk away with, and hopefully we might see you again this season.
Hopefully, another week of America tracks. Yay!
That's it. All right, mate. We'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
Yeah, Corey, the cowboy himself, was perhaps not the result he was expecting starting the last lap.
Oh, definitely not, Alex. I mean, he was gone as far as the battle for the top three was concerned. Over 2 seconds behind the 3 leaders, and to have Fortune just land in his lap like that and not just get on the podium but take second. He's probably jumping up and down inside, and he sounded a little bit exhausted, to be honest. Maybe he's starting to get a little bit just tired of trying to race around here.
Well, mate, you do 1,000 races in a week, and that's what you get, I suppose. You can rest easy though. Now, I suggest the racing might be done. But let's bring in another one of our top 5 finishers here tonight. Long time no see, Mr. Tim Hendrickson. I was just saying to Sam, I imagine he wasn't expecting a podium there. What about yourself, mate? Were you expecting to land in the top 5 after what unfolded?
Well, I expect it to hit the wall twice in qualifying to 0x both my laps and end up P20 after the first lap, which somehow both didn't happen. Yeah. But before I say anything else, is it actually my turn to interview now? Or?
Oh, come on, mate. Give me a break. I've only been doing it for 27 seasons. Come on.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, mate. Yeah, I couldn't do much about that. I zigged when I should have zagged. I got it. I'm blaming the new mouse. Anyway.
No, that was... I mean, I love Belle Isle. I should have done more racing this week, but life got in the way. I'm really happy with a P5 after 6 laps of 8 laps. 8 laps of prep. I really can't complain. Thanks to all the freebies, they helped.
Yeah, well, yeah, there were a few there, particularly at the end, somewhat unexpected. And I'm going so good, mate. I've only just switched to so the folks at home can see the beautiful red and blue. Orange and blue torpedo. Oh my goodness, I've just been thrown everywhere, mate.
And do notice the beautiful blue front and rear wing.
Yeah, I've got a beautiful rear wing angle at the moment, and I can't.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah, look at that. And then we got the. You can even see the Team Torpedo in the mirror there, mate. Look at that, specky. Yeah. Anyway, are we going to see more of the torpedo, the blue and orange torpedo this season?
I mean, you're probably used to my promises by now. I always say I'm going to race more, but I never do. Look, one day I'll do a full season again.
Wow.
One day.
One day.
Not going to promise anything.
Full season
I
in
was
one
going to
day.
say full
One
season.
day.
Full season in one day. Or anyway.
Exactly, just 12 races and be done with it.
Beautiful. As long as you're streaming, mate, we're all good. All right, Tim. Well, thank you for joining us, mate. Congrats on the top 5. Good to have you back, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Thanks, lads. Well done.
There you go, Corey. Tim Hendrickson, who joined us again after another hiatus. And look at that, the blue and orange torpedo. Good to see it out there again.
Absolutely is, Alex. And, he came home with a top 5 here tonight, finishing in 5th. And, after how much time he's spent away from the Skippy, and, to jump straight in and, get a top 5 is a great effort, honestly. And, you can tell he's very happy with himself, as he always is. Even when he does bad, he's always got a smile on his face. He's always cracking jokes. And, we'll see him in about a year and a half when he decides to run another Skippy race again.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's grab Mr. Sorofsky, Mr. Vasco Sorofsky. He is with us now, and I'm just going to make sure his name's on the screen as well. Now, can you help me with the mystery, mate, at the start there?
One?
Oh, well, you were right in there, and I think Nathan Wade picked up a slowdown in the early stages, and I thought Netcode you might have clipped him, but was it actual contact, and did that undo you?
It was. I buried. I told you during the week I've been having problems out of turn 6.
Yeah.
Well, I got the run of my life out of turn 6, and I put it down, and got into the back of Nathan very quickly. Started pulling out, and then it was just too quick. So yeah,
That's a shame.
I don't know.
mate.
I can't say anything. It happens.
Yeah, that's a shame, mate. I'm sorry to hear that. The one good run you get all week, and it costs you the race. That's a shame. And I'm sure Nathan was probably a bit distracted too by the slowdown that he picked up, and then
There was a lot going on there, Alex. So yeah, mate. Everyone's fast, mate. You know that. Everyone's very fast.
there's some pace around here too, and
Mhm.
but it was good to see some of the faces that we don't get to see too often. Real blend here. The top half of the field needed you. I think what were you, car 12, 5k and up from car 12. The last 8 was spread down to 2600. So good mix in there. Probably reflects on what the week that has been here at Belle
Yeah,
Isle.
I was watching, and I think it got to 41, and I thought, oh god, there's going to be free splits, but then someone must have dropped or something. But yeah, big variety. But yeah, everyone, mate, people at 2000 I rating have been very fast around here this week, as you've probably seen as well.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely.
And obviously the race at the front, all the big names are up there. So would have been nice to be there, but not to be today. So we'll give the Roval a go next week and see what that one brings.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Well, hopefully bigger and better things next week. Get you right back up the front. But that might do us, mate. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Oh, you guys, of course. And you for letting me bleed your ear all week, telling me how slow I am. But yeah, and the boys for actually still talking to me after the rest of the race, even though the conversation changed to whatever they were talking about. But that's all good. No, thank you very much, Wes.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, mate. Look forward to talking to you in the coming weeks.
Done. Have a good one.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, Corey Vasco Sorowski. Do I call him the head clown? Anyway, he's not had the race that he wanted here tonight. He did tell me he felt he was struggling this week, although he was right in there until he wasn't, unfortunately. But hopefully onwards and upwards for next week.
Absolutely, Alex, and he's always a great character to have around. He's still smiling. Even with the terrible result, he's like the Aussie version of Tim Hendrickson, except better. And he put an outside pole for the start after having a terrible week here, and that is absolutely nothing to sneeze at, especially in the soft race for the week. And even though the warm up race was a higher soft, he still put on a show for the 5 corners that he was able to, and then 6 corner caught him out as it does, and he still fought back and got a fairly decent finishing position. He's not going to get any points for it, but he stayed committed, stayed racing the whole time, and that's why we absolutely love him.
Yeah, well, that's it, mate. And I forgot he'd fit it. He was on the front, put it on the front row. But yeah, anyway, it wasn't to be. It was Vaughan Roberts' night here tonight, and he made every post a winner. But folks, that might do us here tonight. Corey, let the folks at home know what you got on this week.
So on Wednesday at 11:25 or 11:20 Western Australian time in the morning, we're going to be back with the Output Racing League, and we're going to be tackling 100 laps of the Milwaukee Mile track. It's a great little track, tight and twisty, and it should be a pretty interesting challenge for these guys in their trucks. On Saturday night, I'll be at the Perth Motorplex for the grand final event for the season. And, that's not going to be all for the Speedway Meme stuff. You can check all that out at facebook.com/Speedway Meme 69. There's still a few more Outlaw Kart races coming up in the coming couple of months. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that as well. And then back here next week with you, Alex, when we tackle the commentating for the Charlotte Roval.
Yeah, it should be good fun. Interesting indeed. We haven't been there in quite some time. But everything top split is on your screen at the moment, folks. Join us in the Discord where I do apparently some magic things and move channels around in the middle of the broadcast, but it's also where we do the race interviews, post-race interviews from. The Top Split is where you'll find us on YouTube with this and the other 26 seasons. We're in our 27th season. They're all up there. You can go check out some of the best Skippy action around. In fact, the best Skippy action around. Let's not mince our words. And of course, Top Split TV is right here, right now, where you'll find us each and every week. Sunday night, 9:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time these days, GMT plus 10, where Corey and I and a cast of others every now and then will bring you, like I said, the best Skippy action going around. But for now, folks, thank you to all the drivers in the community for their ongoing support, both on track and... Oh, sorry, I leant on the wrong button. I'm having a great night. Anyway, folks, thank you for joining us. Till next time, ciao for now.